Tonight on Top 20. From moments of pain, shame, and sheer terror, we're counting down to the very best of the worst. Good times gone bad. Which will be number one? The family who cheats death at an amusement park? The biker who takes an unbelievable beating.
What a vicious hit!
What about Granny's poolside polka?
Oh, yeah.
Or the skydiver who pulls the cord and is shoot out of luck. From thousands of videos all over the world, these are the most jaw-dropping moments.
No way!
Of fun unraveled. Which will be number one? Find out next on Top 20. Good times gone bad. We're kicking things off with number 20. The teenage Turchik brothers and their pals are psyched. This boys' night out just keeps getting better. Not only are they free from the watchful eye of their parents, but just outside, a pair of strangers are giving them a little grown-up entertainment.
There was a lot of yelling going on, so, of course I'm gonna turn my head and see what's going on, and then it just escalated from there.
The friends keep gawking, while outside, angry words turn into a flurry of fists.
This guy ran up on the car and he started just punching him.
Chris and his younger brother, Bradley, think it's just like having dinner in a movie. Too bad this action flick is in 3D.
Let me go!
In the struggle, the driver guns his engine and loses control. Suddenly, Bradley finds himself trading in his meal for a V8.
My brother, he just got up because he didn't know what was going on, and he got hit like 10 feet back into the wall.
Bradley squirms free from the car's front bumper. Chris also narrowly avoids being taken out.
And then I was just in shock, and I was just standing there like, for real? Like, did this just happen?
But this show's not over. Look again. The man who was fighting with the driver is dragged into the dining room. He dashes off without paying the bill, but when the wheelman tries to follow suit, cops rush in.
He's going to steal it now!
But even with a taser shoved in his face,
Don't move that car!
the man takes off.
Get out of the car!
He doesn't get far. His next meal will be courtesy of the county lockup. And now, these teens have an unbelievable story to share with the boys at school.
It went from us watching a fight in the parking lot to being almost killed. It was just crazy how something so good can just turn like that.
What's worse than a night of pain? Check out number 19 and this moment of shame. A family gets jiggy with it during a reunion. And Grandma is going old school. But when she busts out her signature shimmy, Nana loses her groove. Granny be trippin' right into the pool. With a little help from her entourage, this golden girl will be good as new. But picking up the pieces from humiliating mishaps isn't always so easy. Why is it that champagne christenings never seem to come off as planned? This little lady gives her new yacht several whacks.
It's a good strong bottle.
But instead of breaking the bottle, she breaks the boat.
We're taking the rest.
And this gal even has a speech prepared to launch her hubby's new toy.
Now, christen me. Just add water. Woo!
Hit it again.
Water!
Unfortunately, she christens her face instead.
That's it. You got to do it, babe.
But none of these can compare to number 18. These parade planners have meticulously built a float for the Spanish National Day festivities. They even hold a ribbon-cutting ceremony to unveil their master creation. The final touch? You guessed it, christening their artwork with bubbly. At least that's the idea. A second hit still doesn't quite go as planned. But they're determined to ring this party in right, hoping third time is the charm. Unfortunately, hitting the bottle makes the sculpture a bit tipsy. The float is sunk by less than a liter of liquor. The bottle itself doesn't even break, as it finds the sweet spot of the shockingly flimsy figure. But while these folks took a hit to their pride, check out the hit at number 17, where a good time gets pushed to the limit. Georgia's Hank Hogan has a unique way of unwinding at the end of a long work week. For this good old boy, nothing says fun like strapping into a high-speed hot boat and hanging on for dear life.
This sport is dangerous as hell. And you know going in you can bust your ass on any given day when you're running these boats at this kind of speed.
Hank guns his yellow bullet, looking to beat his fastest time. But it's not the clock taking the beating today. It's Hank. Flipping end over end at 135 miles an hour, Hank is thrown clear of the cockpit. It may look like he's skipping across the water like a stone, but Hank is getting rocked.
First impact I made with the water was strong enough it knocked me out. And I don't remember anything after that until I came to.
His hands up. He's up. He's all right.
Maybe it's time this weekend warrior took up something a little less stressful.
Had 4 broken ribs, my right wrist was broken, and severely bruised ego.
So, does Hank have any advice for someone looking to take up this relaxing hobby?
And you can just hold on and give your soul to God and kiss your ass goodbye.
Coming up, what's worse, a disaster on the way to the wedding or a blow-up at the anniversary? The answer is still up in the air as we keep counting down to number 1 on Top 20, Good Times Gone Bad. The countdown rolls on. From the world's wildest drive-thru to the party girl who went belly up, Top 20 has christened a parade flop and baptized a speed demon hobbled by his hobby. What could possibly be worse than those good times gone bad? Try number 16. And a bartender who gives new meaning to bottoms up. At this Scottish pub, Mary Duncan is always good for a cold ale and a hearty laugh. But tonight, the joke's on her. As her coworker heads down to the cellar for a few bottles of booze, Mary doesn't hear her say the trap door is open. The happy barkeep continues to sling suds, blissfully unaware there's a new hole in the floor.
As I turned round, I stepped back into the hole and went straight down the hole.
Mary collects some splinters on her rear-ended trip down the wooden stairs. On the bright side, this is where they store the hooch.
Sat downstairs, had a few straight vodkas, straightened myself up, went back up the stairs and finished off my shift with a few cuts and bruises and whatnot in between.
Hopefully this spunky barkeep will leave the falling down to the drunks.
I don't mind people having a laugh at me. At least people can have a laugh and put a smile on their face. That's fine for me.
But what happens when 30 people take a spill? You land at number 15. The fun's just getting started for this wedding group as they head across a river for the reception. But some rowdy cousins are a bit too excited, and they're getting a big kick out of the wobbly footbridge. This much energy is more than the shoddy walkway can handle. The cable breaks, and oh snap! It's a pool party. These wedding guests came to toast the bride and groom. They never expected they'd be the ones taking the plunge. How do you top a wedding day disaster? How about an anniversary blowout like this one at number 14? It starts when the happy couple is served dessert. What they don't know is that the party planners are serving up a prank. Trick candles. Wow, that's original. After a shower of silly string, the guests of honor are ready to reignite the flames of passion. The poor hubby huffs and puffs to put out the candles, but check it out. He's holding a lit cigarette the whole time. Just as he tries to snuff the butt, the party dessert goes from baked Alaska to sweetheart flambe. Relatives step in to peel off the sizzling string. They were excited to share their special night with family and friends. But occasionally, even the best of times go up in smoke. Flaming cake? That can't hold a candle to the painful shock at number 13. Free-spirited skater Mike Bowman treats the streets of San Francisco like his own personal playground. But on this sweet little wall jump, he's about to learn that having a ball isn't all it's cracked up to be.
I knew I could do it. It was just getting that comfortable spot where you're like, all right, this is the one. I know I'm gonna do it right here.
If Mike really thinks this is the one, he's nuts.
Are you okay?
Mike nails the jump. And that's not all.
For that split second I actually had rolling, it was great. I was so psyched, and then, you know, look up and there's a pole in front of you, and it was like getting hit by a car.
The brutal thwacking knocks Mike's shoes right off his feet and leaves him singing soprano.
It hurt, and I thought that I maybe hurt some things I didn't want to hurt.
Though Mike's family jewels may now be tarnished, he can at least be proud that with one jump, he gave new meaning to the term basic cable. The worst is yet to come. But which will be number one? The theme park turns screamed park? The groom who leaves his lunch at the altar? Or will it be the debut ride of a $50,000 chopper? The results may stun you. On Top 20, Good Times Gone Bad. On the countdown to number 1, you've seen a bartender hitting rock bottom. The ultimate wedding crashers. The world's hottest anniversary couple. And a skater's ballsy jump. Now it's on to number 12, where a minor case of the jitters leads to major humiliation. Paul and Marcia are seconds away from becoming Mr. and Mrs. Rosen. It's a day Marcia's been planning her whole life.
I was excited, nervous, anxious.
As for Paul, he couldn't have had a more laid-back afternoon.
I spent most of the day with some of my groomsmen. We did eat lots of pizza and Hawaiian punch.
But suddenly, facing the moment of truth, that tasty snack is punching back.
You could just tell him he looked green.
Despite the groom's best efforts, he's about to lose his composure and more. Instead of saying "I do" to Marcia, Paul says hello to Ralph.
I knew that something had to give.
He turned to me and he said, "I'm sorry." And Paul himself didn't know he was going to be sick until he took one look at me. That's a horrible thing I just said.
Fortunately, in sickness and in health is part of the package, so Paul and Marcia suck it up and tie the knot anyway. Sealing their love with a slightly hesitant smooch. Paul's ego will heal, but the public humiliation at number 11 comes at a more painful price, where Magic Man Ruben Lopez gets set to thrill a group of soldiers with some not-so-friendly fire. Ruben spits a mouthful of fuel for his big fire-breathing act. But the trick blows up in his face. The audience thinks it's all part of the performance. But this is no act. Thankfully, his good friend, Jinxie the Clown, runs to the magician's aid before he's seriously hurt. Ruben just wanted to wow the crowd with a rare feat. Unfortunately, this stunt backfired. Need more proof that Murphy's Law can crash any good time? Take a look at number 10.
Run, Forrest, run.
Trigger Gum has a passion for motorcycles.
I love you, Ben. I love you too.
And for the last 3 years, he's been building his masterpiece, a $55,000 custom chopper.
That's sick, dude. Like it? So nice.
Tonight, he finally gets to take his baby out for its maiden voyage. But of all the things that could spoil this special occasion, the last one Trigger expected was this.
No way.
I heard the screeching, and then I rubbernecked it around. I'm just like, this is not happening, you know?
The speeding truck whiplashes Trigger onto the hood, then tosses him to the asphalt. He'll be okay.
No way.
But his pride and joy, it's roadkill. Adding insult to injury, the driver is drunk. Even worse, he's uninsured.
Sorry, man. Stay still, Trigger.
And he just won't get out of Trigger's face.
It's not bad, I know. This is my boy's truck, dude. This is my boy's truck.
But Trigger's in no mood to kiss and make up.
Hey. Dude.
He deserved a punch, so I had to smash his head.
In addition to this knuckle sandwich, the intoxicated driver gets 18 months in the slammer. Trigger gets a painful lesson. Good times can go wrong when you least expect it.
It just felt great to ride something that you actually envision and it comes out perfect and then gets taken away from you.
The baddest of the bad is still to come. What's scarier? A snowmobile on your head? Or a speedboat in your lap? The race is on to number 1. When Top 20, Good Times Gone Bad returns. When it comes to Good Times Gone Bad, it's tough to beat a groom with no stomach for weddings, a magician with no luck, or a biker with no wheels. But the good time at number 9 trumps them all. Skater Alex Schmidt is throwing himself a little pity party to salvage what has so far been a sucky morning.
I got a ticket for skating, so that kind of like bummed me out.
But if starting his day with a $100 fine has Alex feeling low, his next move will really leave him run down. The teen performs a steep trick on the skateboard's back wheels. Alex is betting he can nail the stunt. But the over-under on that wager is brutal. When his ride is over, Alex is under the car.
My friend actually yelled my name to stop, but I couldn't hear him because there's cracks in the sidewalk. So I was like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I guess he yelled, Alex, stop. Well, I didn't hear it.
His legs slip between the car's front and rear tires. But he ricochets out of harm's way.
Half of my body went under the car, and the other half like bounced off and like quickly avoided getting run over. And it happened like that quick, like it was over. It was a pretty strange experience.
After waking up on the wrong side of the bed, this skater is glad his day didn't end on a gurney. Too bad the guy coming in at number 8 won't get off so easy. A holiday weekend draws big crowds to this popular animal park in Thailand. The biggest attraction? A live crocodile show. These prehistoric predators actually view humans as prey. But that's not stopping these humans from teasing the killer creatures. One gets set to taunt a 16-foot man-eater up close. Unfortunately, Chompers is in no mood to play. The reptile's powerful jaws lock onto the man's arm like a vice. The one-ton behemoth lets the bad times roll, giving the handler the spins. Incredibly, the trainer breaks free. They'll need several stitches after the nasty bite. Meanwhile, the monstrous croc hisses in triumph. Spectators at this park were hoping to get a thrilling glimpse of man's dominance over the wild. But today, the wild bit back. Nearly losing an arm is one thing. But at number 7, meet the athlete who almost loses his head. snowmobile racer Jason Jones is having a blast at the first ever Winter X Games.
We were probably getting 15, 20 feet of air. We were getting 80 to 130 foot in distance, depending on the jumps.
But the extreme altitude is messing with Jason's rig.
We were riding at 11,000 feet. Normally our races are around 6,000, 7,000 feet. So our machines weren't running correctly. We were down on horsepower.
Jason's lack of speed is weighing on him heavily. And that's not all. The throttle jockey's jump comes up short. But the same can't be said for the rider right behind him.
I heard this machine above me, and that was an eerie feeling because I knew I am going to get crushed. When you can hear it, the sound of it just getting louder and louder and louder, you're like, this is not going to be good. He's going to land right on top of me.
The spiky treads slam down, and Jason takes a wallop.
I looked down at my left arm, and it cut my forearm muscle in half. Dislocated my shoulder and crushed my chest.
But what hurts even more is the sting of regret.
The wreck and not being able to finish the race and qualify for the final would hurt way more than the actual injuries did. Most definitely.
On a day that's supposed to be perfect, any number of things can go wrong.
He's passed out.
These newlyweds have been married less than 5 minutes, and things are already falling apart. And this bride just loves being the center of attention. That is, until some rowdy groomsmen take her down a notch. She shakes it off with a laugh. But the matrimonial humiliation at number 6 has no equal. James and Linda stand ready to tie the knot.
These two persons present come now to be joined.
Their minister lays out the ground rules.
If either of you know any impediments why you may not be lawfully joined together in matrimony, you may now consent together.
Then he invites the crowd to speak up. Just a formality, right?
I have something to say.
From the back of the room, the groom's ex-girlfriend Karen wants to say her piece about the bride.
I think she's nothing but a freak. She ain't got no more, she ain't got no doubt. I think it's wrong.
Her jilted outburst sparks a pew-clearing free-for-all as relatives from both sides of the aisle tear after Karen. What was supposed to be holy matrimony turns into holy hell. And the gutsy guest who spoke up just won't shut up. When Karen gets all up in Linda's business, the bridesmaids step in. Looks like the groom is quietly taking the fifth. Even the confused crowd can't believe this is actually happening.
What's going on? I want to know what's going on.
This hopeful couple was just seconds away from wedded bliss. But in a flash, their trip to the altar became the ultimate wedding disaster. Up next, it's down to the final 5. Which will be number 1? Will it be the racer who eats dirt?
A vicious hit!
Or the one who catches air? The skydiver who cheats death? Or the tourists who get torpedoed? Hang on tight to find out on Top 20 Good Times Gone Bad. As we've seen, the good times have gone from bad to worse. From a very hungry gator to to a very lucky racer. And of course, the most embarrassing wedding moment ever caught on tape. Now we're in the home stretch at number 5. So strap yourself in for a race that you've got to see to believe. Formula One racer Stefan Ortelli is psyched, thinking he has the championship all wrapped up. Unaware that this car race is about to turn into an air show. Stefan explodes down the straightaway at 200 miles an hour. And then, blast off. A rear wing on the race car collapses, launching the vehicle skyward. He passes close enough to another racer to read his speedometer. Stefan fears this flight is destined for the pearly gates.
Immediately I think it's going to be over and I'm going to be dead. When I was in the air, it was everything very, very slow, like in a slow motion. I just hear the wind going like that, and the car going on the side.
As the racer-turned flyboy soars through the air, he braces for the death blow.
I knew it was going to be the end, and I was just waiting the last big bang, the last big crash, and it never happened.
The champion from France comes to a rest against the barrier, shocked that he's not French toast.
I think if at this time of the accident I was capable to go out of the car by my own, I think I was going to be dancing on the car and thinking, wow, I'm alive, that's so good, you know.
Aside from a broken ankle, Stefan is okay. It's an incredible outcome to a day when this racer's life was literally up in the air. If you thought that was a turn for the worse, here comes number 4, where a day in the sun is anything but fun. It's the final weekend of summer, and friends and families pack a water park for one last hurrah.
Unless you know exactly what you're doing, these waters are off limits.
Those in the front row think they've got the best seats in the house for a boat show. The speedboat is supposed to turn just before it reaches the shore. But this craft has a mind of its own.
That's not supposed to happen!
Just as the boat nears land, its steering mechanism breaks. The man who appears to be driving is actually an actor. And spectator Alexander Folk can tell he's got a serious case of stage fright.
I could see, even from where I was sitting, that the actor wasn't acting anymore. All of a sudden, his eyes got very big and wide, and he just got that stunned look on his face.
It turns out the real driver is concealed in the hull and powerless to stop the vessel. Alexander and the rest of the audience are blindsided by the barreling torpedo, but quickly muscle together to help the injured.
I got to the boat, and there were already people moving the boat, turning the boat to try to move it off of the people.
Despite having the worst seats in the house, everyone survives.
It turned out to be really a good time that went bad.
At number 3, an even more painful summertime disaster, with a 4th of July party that leaves a motocross racer seeing stars and stripes.
Michael Lessing giving it his all as he has all year.
It was a great day. Everybody was having fun. Just a perfect day to go out and just battle with the world's best riders.
Unfortunately for Mike Alessi, it's a battle he's destined to lose.
Oh, Mike Alessi, a vicious hit.
I was giving everything I had. I was giving 110% and riding above and beyond my limits and where I should have been.
Mike is going way too fast to land the jump. But the problem isn't what went wrong, it's where.
And he is down. Oh, and the rider's just pounding over him. Mike Alessi is down hard.
The riders that were behind me, they didn't know that I was right there. I was in a blind spot.
Wave after wave of bikers flies over the hill, turning Mike into a human speed bump.
It had to have been the worst crash that has ever happened on a motorcycle.
And how many hits does it take to keep Mike down? There's 1, 2, then 3, 4, and 5 riders who leave their mark. Battered and dazed, the motocross doormat eventually sits up. He's well-tread and eager to put the whole mess behind him.
I have not seen the videos. I mean, I lived through it, and I don't need to see it.
The crowd wishing him well.
This hotshot racer just wanted to give the 4th of July crowd a good show. But when you make your living digging in the dirt,
Oh, Mike Alessi!
you could wind up 6 feet under.
A vicious hit.
But at number 2, it's the last place in the world you'd expect to risk your life. Throngs of happy families enjoy a holiday weekend at a Shanghai amusement park. Those scared off by the monstrous roller coaster opt instead for the swings. It's a far more gentle thrill, or at least it should be. Just as the kids and parents are getting into the swing of things, the massive wheel above them breaks loose. Suddenly, this ride becomes a merry-go-down. A father is thrown clear. His daughter lands just out of harm's way. And though the 5-ton steel wheel clips his son's seat, it misses the boy and only bounces him into the air. The dizzy riders dust themselves off, walking away with just cuts and bruises. But these families will never forget the day their holiday joyride threw them for a loop. Coming up, how unlucky can one skydiver be? Enough to earn top honors in our countdown. On Top 20, Good Times Gone Bad. From thousands of videos, we've counted down the most shameful, most painful, most terrifying Good Times Gone Bad. But imagine all of those rolled into one. As in, number 1. Meet the incredibly unlucky skydiver who cheats death twice to lay claim to the crown in our Top 20 countdown. Scott Lutz has always had his head in the clouds. But on this, his first ever free fall skydive, he's taking no chances. He hires not 1, but 2 instructors.
This drop zone is huge, and I figured, what can go wrong?
As it turns out, everything. "12,000 feet above the California desert, Scott mugs for the camera with his guide. Then one instructor pulls the rookie's ripcord, and like a bad joke, his entire chute rips free from his body.
You know, all that training, they talked about what happens if you have line twist or if your chute's tangled. But I remember they never said anything about the chute disappearing.
Scott spiraling toward the earth at a mind-blowing 125 miles an hour.
The reserve chute's supposed to pull automatically, and I remember thinking, well, that obviously didn't work.
In his twisted tailspin, Scott can't find the cord for the reserve chute. Now he has only a matter of seconds before it's too late.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the jump master, and he was pointing at the chute release.
Finally, he grabs the handle.
I was thinking at the time, this is my last chance. If this one doesn't work, you know, I'm history. I've never been so relieved in my life when that chute opened. Little did I know the worst was yet to come.
Scott has veered wildly off target. In a cruel twist of fate, he's on a collision course with power lines.
And I remember just thinking, you know, I can't believe this is happening to me today.
Sparks fly as Scott is blasted by 12,000 volts.
Electricity went in my hip and came out of my left foot. It essentially blew a hole about the size of a silver dollar out of my left foot.
It's hard to believe that Scott actually paid for this free fall. But thanks to this complimentary video, he lands safely at #1 in our top 20 countdown for going from high flyer to live wire. Scarred for a second, or scarred for life. Of all the ways fun can fall apart, you've seen the very best of the worst. Good times gone bad. The ride was wild. The journey intense.
No way.
But you survived the trip to #1 on Top 20 Good Times Gone Bad.